Paragraph 6, we're going to talk about appraisal provisions. So this is the next opportunity for the buyer to make sure that they know what they're getting. And typically an appraisal is going to be required by a lender. So if the buyer is getting a loan to purchase the property, in almost every case, a lender is going to require that they know that the collateral is worth what they expect. And so as we look through paragraph 6, you see that the buyer has the right to object or to cancel the contract if the appraisal doesn't come in at value for the purchase price. Sometimes that the appraisal may come in low and the buyer and the seller can negotiate, change the purchase price. Sometimes the buyer will agree to pay above the appraised value, which means they may have to come out of pocket with a little bit extra money because the lender will only cover to the percentage of the value that they get from the appraisal. So there are a lot of ways this can play out. But it's important to know that that the buyer is really kind of in control once this appraisal comes back. FHA and VA have some different rules, and again, in terms of deadlines, there can be none when the government-backed loans are in place. And so that's the important takeaway from 622 and 623. And then under 6.3, understand that sometimes the appraisal will come out and specify things that need to be done to the property. Hey, the appraiser believes that it is worth the value, but it needs to have exterior painting done, or it needs to have a railing replaced inside to make it safe, those types of things. So those can be conditions that are put on the property by the appraiser. And then finally, paragraph 6.4 talks about who's going to pay for that appraisal. Typically in this market, the buyer is paying for the appraisal. Sometimes that's paid at closing, sometimes it's paid beforehand. In other markets, right, if this was a buyer's market and sellers were trying to be aggressive, they may agree to pick up the cost of the appraisal, but we're not seeing it today in the Colorado Springs market. All right, moving on then, as we get into the next section is going to be HOAs and Owners Associations. So we'll talk to you then.